Okay, hey YouTube. This is just a very quick, cheap video to kind of hopefully build some suspense for my next video, which is going to be about the differences between sort of neovaginal sex and anal. So I think that one will be one that will get a lot of interest, a lot of hits, a lot of clicks, which is why I'm going to make it, because I need to do something to get some life back into this channel here, because it's hard for me to sort of come up with new things to talk about, things that I think will be interesting and relevant for a wide variety of trans people. And sort of as the trans becomes less of my life to some extent, it's not something that I want to continually spend a lot of time talking about. So I'm trying to find new ways to talk about trans things, new subjects to talk about, ways to talk about things differently, whatever, just things to mix it up so that it doesn't feel like I'm saying the same things over and over and over again. Because I think that, to some extent, always talking about the trans can be a little exhausting for me, probably for other people as well, and it's just something that, it still comes up, or there's still instances where, I'm working now for a new manager who doesn't know my past as far as I know, and doesn't have to, even though, if I were to do hair removal or something like that, I'd probably want to be able to work from home, like on a Monday, maybe on a Tuesday, and then kind of spend the weekend growing that hair out so that it can be removed on that Monday, and then if it's still red on Tuesday, don't go into work, so that I don't give it away. Or, there's still other surgery that I may want to have later, and there's sort of practical things like that, or logistical things, I should say, rather, where you don't even necessarily need to tell them. You just say that I'm going out for surgery, or I need to work from home for medical reasons, and I'm pretty sure that once I build enough rapport with this manager, it would not be a big issue. Even maybe without the rapport, it wouldn't be a big issue. So it's like there's no real incentive for me to come out or not. Whereas I know that a lot of people who are sitting at home maybe haven't even come out at all yet or started their transition, and so it's a very different experience. A lot of different concerns then, and it's like somebody asked on my Facebook, what are the legal frameworks and things like that, and it's just like, well, there aren't really any legal frameworks for coming out as trans. If you happen to live in the 11 or however many states it is that offer gender identity expression, then you're golden, and if you don't, then you might not be. If you work at a job without a contract or an at-will employer, you could probably be fired right there on the spot. Now, if you live in some of the jurisdictions where they've ruled that discrimination against trans people is the same as discrimination on the basis of sex, then you might be able to win your court battles, but again, not very practical for paying your rent and your power bill this month. And so, there are some sort of guidelines and guidebooks out there that can be found with Google, but it's a completely different type of experience, a different type of need, and something that I think Google is probably better able to answer for you than I am, because sort of your rights would depend a lot on where you live. But the thing I always say is kind of do it with conviction. Don't make it necessarily a negotiation. But that's when you're coming out or talking about transition with maybe family or friends. Coming out at work is kind of a negotiation because, you know, like, you want it to go smoothly because this is your employer. Even if you don't get fired, you're not going to get promoted if you're kind of a dick about it. So, like, do your homework, do your Googling, and stay tuned for our next video. This one ended up being a lot longer than I thought.